Hello, Amber team. It's Mr. Hanson. As you're aware, I told you last Friday that I wasn't going to be with you this week. I apologize for that, but I have some fun things set up for you while I am gone. You will be beginning today a Webquest on ancient Greece to kind of go along with the ancient civilizations we've already been studying. As you all know, we've already looked at ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, the Fertile Crescent, ancient India, and ancient China. Well, now we're going to move into ancient Greece with a bunch of cool stuff there. And you're going to begin by getting some information on ancient Greece through doing a web quest. So on this sheet that you should already have in your hands, it says Ancient Greece Web Quest. It just gives you kind of an outline of what the project is going to consist of. So to better understand what life was like in ancient Greece, you'll take a virtual tour through a website created by the British Museum. Begin by visiting the site, www.ancientgreece.co.uk. I have a link to this on my website that I'm going to show you in a minute. You will notice that the website is divided into 10 chapters. Although there are 10 chapters, you will only be researching 6 of them. Each chapter has 3 sections: a story, an explore, and a challenge section. You'll be spending most of your time working in the story and explore areas of each of these sections. The story section will give you information on the section in a narrative form, whereas the explorer section gives the same information in an interactive way. What I don't have written here is that the challenge section is something you can come back to later after you're done, and it gives you some puzzles and stuff to figure out and some games to play, which is kind of fun. For each chapter, you'll be given a small packet of information that you must find by exploring that particular chapter. There are 3 packets total to complete. After you complete one, you will then receive the next one until you are finished. Some of the questions in the packet may ask you to make comparisons with what is taking place today. In those instances, you will need to look at other resources on the internet to completely answer those questions. To begin, visit my website where I'll have the links to the British Museum website on ancient Greece, as well as other relevant sites that may be of assistance for this activity. I'm in the process of putting those other websites on my site, so they'll be there by the time you're in there on Monday. One of them will be you'll have to explore our government and compare and contrast it with that of ancient Greece, as well as looking at the first Olympics being played in ancient Greece and the Olympics that take place today. So I'm going to set up some sites that you can look at for that information. You also may need to just Google it, and hopefully you will come across some reliable information there. So here is that, and so this sheet is just purely information. We're going to go to next the website of ancient Greece. So here's the ancient Greece website. I'm just going to take you through a little bit of a tour of what it looks like. I'm going to go on a couple of chapters that you won't be using. So you can see over here the Acropolis, Athens, daily life, festivals and games, geography, gods and goddesses, knowledge and learning, Sparta, time, and war. These are the 10 chapters I mentioned on the first part of the screencast. You're going to be doing a packet on the Acropolis. That'll be the first one. Then I combined Athens and Sparta together with one. And then your third one will be a combination of festivals and games, which you're going to be looking at the Olympics, gods and goddesses, and war. So those 3 will be combined into one packet. So let me just take you through this as an example. So geography isn't one you're going to specifically look at for the WebQuest, but I'd like you, even when you get down to the computer lab today, to take a look at it, because it gives you an idea of what Greece is like and where it is located in the world. So as I stated in the sheet there, it talked about that each chapter is broken in 3 parts. Here's the story part, here's the explore part, and here's the challenge part. So here, obviously, geography, mainland Greece is a mountainous land almost completely surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea. Greece has more than 1,400 islands. The country has mild winters and long, hot, and dry summers. The ancient Greeks were a seafaring people. They traded with other countries around the Mediterranean. Many cities created settlements overseas known as colonies. Greek cities were founded around the Black Sea, North Africa, Italy, Sicily, France, and Spain. Many tales and legends grew up about the strange lands and creatures that could be found across the sea. So if you go into the story section, it's going to talk to you about you can follow Odysseus' travels to the many fantastic lands. So you can go into here. I'm not going to spend too much time about it, but you can go into here and read the story by Homer called the Odyssey, or at least parts of it anyway. And it would go through and it gives you little graphics and information about Odysseus. And then as you're reading through this, if you click on the notes, it gives you a little bit more information about the story and things like that. but I am going to go back to this section and click on the Explore. So on this section, the Explore section, it gives you a way you can zoom in, take a closer look at the map. You can just pull it around here. As you can see, you zoom out a little bit to give you an idea of where, well, I guess you can't go out too far, but here is Greece. Over just about over here is where Italy would be. All right, but you zoom in, you can also collect or look at different maps. So here's important religious sites. Maybe you've heard of Delphi, Olympia, Lucia. Those are just a few. Delphi is probably the more popular one. What natural resources does Greece have? Well, if you zoom in a little bit, you can see lots of copper, iron, timber, gold, and silver. But it gives you an idea of the type of natural resources. Then modern political units. I don't know if you've been following modern current events in Greece, but financially their economy is in horrible shape. And it, believe it or not, for such a small country, it does have an effect on world trade and the world economy, specifically how it's affecting Europe and the euro. But so here, this gives you a little bit of an idea of what the modern political units are. Colonies. This map shows colonies. The colonies are set up of broad citizens of city-states. The original city-state is called the mother city. Some colonies in turn set up their own colonies. We're going to be doing an activity with city-states when we get back from Thanksgiving break. But there you can see this is Italy, obviously, and here's Greece, and this gives you the different city-states. Athens and Sparta are two that you're going to be looking at through these this Webquest, and these are two of the most popular ones. Then a myth map, so some of the myths that go along with ancient Greece. I don't think you can click on things. Well, maybe you can. Okay, you click on Dionysus, comes up the birthplace of Dionysus. He returned to the city often once when angry at the king of Thebes, made all the women in the city go mad. We're going to do some stuff too in this unit with the gods and goddesses. You're going to be looking at a few of them in this Webquest, but we're going to be looking at some of the mythology and things like that, which is kind of cool. So if any of you have read The Lightning Thief, I'm forgetting the beginning of it, but I know, oh well. But The Lightning Thief, it's got all the Greek mythology in it. So I just saw the movie, parts of the movie this summer. It was pretty cool. I'm sure many of you read it. Percy Harvin, is that? Maybe it, I don't know. And then another modern political map of it. So you see Italy here, Greece, Albania, Macedonia, Turkey's over here. There's Istanbul, Serbia, Montenegro. So this gives you an idea of where it's located in the world, and obviously it's on the Mediterranean Sea. In my next screencast, I will outline the Acropolis section that you'll be starting after you take a little explore a little bit at the website when you get down into the Blue Lab today. So that's it. Have fun.